This meeting is being recorded.
So, okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop.
Me too.
This meeting is being recorded.
So we're working with group 4 with our annotated bibliography. Our people are Victoria Franz. I always say her name wrong. Brandy Gallagher, myself, Robin Howell, and Carson Shack. In the first article that we had, mine was a brief, actually. It talked about strategies for school family partnerships and how they are wonderful for enhancing children's social and emotional development. So this whole brief talks about some of the different areas, just from the Cassell picture that you're seeing on the slide. And it talks about how there are strategies that you can use for each one of those, the self-awareness, social awareness. And it's been found that when parents and families work together, parents and families and schools work together, they actually can enhance children's social and emotional development, and they are able to do better academically as well. Next slide, please.
Okay, so this one was my article. It's called School Business Partnerships, Understanding Business Perspectives. It pulled a bunch of research from 15 different interviews with individual business owners in the researchers' local area. And it found that most of those business owners decided that business school partnerships are for the benefit of students, and provided 7 different main themes that go into the business school partnerships. Those being relationships, communication, trust, future of students, return on investment, integrity, and responsibility, and how those each go into benefiting both parties of the partnership, the business and the school, as well as the students. You can go to the next slide.
All right, this is my slide about Harvard Family Research Project. It's about family involvement makes a difference. So the Harvard Family Research Project noted that children integrate knowledge from their interaction with teachers, peers, and their families. Children construct their identities to what they can do and what they are good at through these interactions. The Harvard Family Research Project also notes that it's crucial that families are involved when children are in elementary age because of their learning and development. The project also notes that there are 3 family involvement processes: parenting, raising young children, homeschool relationships, and the responsibility of parents for learning. The more involvement, the higher math and literacy development. And they also note that the more the family is involved in the children's schooling, the better that their behavior is. Next slide.
All right, this article that I had was about school community learning partnerships, and it's essential to expanded learning success. And for the past 10 years, the community learning centers have wanted schools to collaborate with the community and faith to ensure student learning with children before school and after school programs, and also during the summer when the children are off from school. This article talks about how partnerships are essential to grow where students learn, when they learn, and how they learn. There are many benefits to school community partnerships. When everyone works together, it benefits all parties. Learning partnerships can benefit schools by allowing access to mentors, to help create a school culture and community, and to reinforce topics that are taught in school, to assist with transitions, and to help with the wider range of curriculum. Learning partners can help schools support community partners by improving the staff with better quality, allowing access to students who need assistance, help share resources for staff, curriculum, and data, and create a better vision for learning.
All right, this is my next article. It's the power of after school and summer learning for students. And in this article, Priscilla Little notes that the partnerships that are for after-school programs are able to help schools, teachers, and families. The partnerships give access to a large range of learning opportunities for students. The after-school project gives to students individual learning also. She also notes that these after-school projects give students a chance to have art and more enrichment because of schools are not able to offer those programs during the day. Another important item is that it helps to transition the crucial years between middle and high school for students. These programs recruit students that are the most in need of support services. These partnerships can strengthen, support, and in some instances, transform individual partnerships. Next slide.
This is my second article. It is Partners in Education, a dual capacity building framework for family school partnerships. The figure on the right there is actually what they have set up for the dual capacity framework. And through this article, they did 3 separate case studies with 3 different schools in different parts of the US. 2 were northeastern, one was more on the coast, one was more north, and one on the west coast of the US. And basically they used the 4 C's and the policy and program goals to fully utilize a family school partnership and compare that in those case studies to see how this building framework could improve those case studies. And those 4 C's hit on important ideas like skills and knowledge, networking, beliefs and values, and self-efficacy through the different words that they represent. And you can go to the next slide.
This was my article. It was called Just Ask, Strategies for Building Community Partnerships. And this article, Andrew Miller noted that a public audience is essential for learning. Andrew Miller also noted that when students know their work is going to be presented outside of the classroom, it is completed at a better quality. It holds the students accountable for their work and expectations. Having an outside source inside your classroom throughout the process for feedback is also important. One of the most important things Miller reminds you throughout this article is to just ask. He reminds us in the article that the worst thing a person can say is no. Another strategy Miller mentions in the article is to ask the parents of your students to get involved. Miller mentions another thing to keep in mind when you're asking someone from an organization or a parent to come in. Be specific in what you would like them to come in to do and what you need them to talk about and when. Using technology in your classroom for this partnership is essential as well because it makes the person able to be more accessible to you. And then lastly, Miller mentions to ask other people who they know to make connections to find what you're looking for if you don't have the specific person for the expert advice that you need.
Next slide. Okay, so this one is factors affecting teachers' feelings of safeness in working with family and community partnerships. And it comes from the International Journal of Evaluation and Research in Education, and it took place in Vietnam. So some of the things that we were looking at were backgrounds of the school itself, the teaching experience of those who are teaching, how high a grade, so ages and school levels. And then we looked at some of the things with the teachers and families, the relationships between them to start with. How, what are they? Do the teachers feel comfortable discussing moral education for their children? So another part of this is that there were two separate types of moral education. One was a social one, and the other one really had to do with the history of morality in Vietnam. And so things are changing, and some of the teachers did not feel comfortable working with families and trying to do moral education. So that was really what it was about. So when it says feelings of safeness, they're really talking about the comfort of it. And then it talked about families' mental encouragement for teachers. Families agree with and appreciate the education given by the teachers with the moral education. You know, that had to be a factor. And a lot of times families will stay out of the schools because they feel like that's not their domain to be in. So it can be difficult to actually get them to participate. And then they talked about the factors of the collaborated action between the families and communities. So how do communities have a stake in moral education of children, and what are the benefits? And that whole article discussed that. The only downside to this article was the fact that it was not in our country. So when they say that associate degree teachers are the ones that are most comfortable with families, we're not really sure if that associate degree is the same as what we have here. And that's pretty much it.